नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter number 3, verse number 19. This is continuation of prayers by Sri Vasudeva to Krishna. And in this he was explaining that you are the source of creation, maintenance and annihilation, and yet you are free from any action, any qualities or transformation. And then he says that this is no contradiction in you because you are both Ishvara and Brahman. So you are reading the commentary of Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti on this, and some was remaining. We will continue from there. So first he explained that he is both Ishvara and Brahman, and he gave his quotations. And now he says Yadva, that alternatively this verse can also be explained as follows. Nanu tvatputrasya chaturbhujasya mam katham brahmatvam katham va ishwaratvam sambhavat iti chet. So if Krishna says that I am your son and I am standing here with four hands, so how can I be Brahman? Because he says that you are both Brahman and Ishvara, Ishvara Brahmani. And how can I be Ishvara, the creator? So how is this possible? So then Vasudeva answers, Satyam Tvam na Brahma na tu Ishvara. So now he says it's true. You are neither Brahman nor you are Ishvara. You are the grandfather of everyone. So kintu brahmano hi pratisthaham iti tvaduktehe adya avtara purusha parasya iti brahmoktescha tayor ashrayastvam bhavasi itya. Rather you say brahmano hi pratisthaham amritasya vyasya, that you are the shelter of Brahman. And Brahma himself says that adya avtara purusha parasya, that you are the source of the Purusha Avatara, and therefore you are not Brahman, but you are the support of Brahman, and you are not Ishvara, but you are the source of Ishvara. And therefore the word ashratva is used in the verse. Tvad ashratvad upcharyate. So he is applying the word ashraya in this sense. तयोर ब्रह्मेश्वरयोर अपि आश्रित्वात् गुणैरुपचर्यते. So you are the shelter of both Brahman and Ishvara, and then their qualities are imposed onto you, right? And therefore you are called Brahman and Ishvara. So sometimes the object which is supporting is also called the one who is supported, like taxi driver. So you want to call the taxi driver, what do you say? Taxi, right? So you call for the taxi, but you are calling for the taxi driver. So taxi is the ashraya, support, and taxi driver is the supported. So the quality of the, here it is other way around. Here the quality of the supported is being applied to that which is supporting. So similarly the quality of Brahman and Ishvara are applied to Krishna, who is the support. Ashritvad gunai upcharyate. So this is how he is applying. Because you are the shelter of the Brahman, therefore you are also called Brahman by applying the qualities of Brahman onto you. And because you are the source of Ishvara, therefore the qualities of Ishvara are imposed on you, and you are called Ishvara.
So did I understand correctly that in your example with the taxi and taxi driver, the quality of the taxi driver of being able to hear is imposed on the taxi, and therefore I can call taxi?
Yes, you're calling the taxi as taxi driver. Okay? I mean you're calling taxi considering it as taxi driver. Right? You're saying oh taxi, so you're using the word taxi for taxi driver.
So I'm not quite clear, who's now the support?
So that's why I said here the example is other way around. Because you're calling the support considering it to be the supported. I mean you're basically applying, as you're saying, the quality of the taxi driver onto the taxi. That is the imposition, right? Otherwise, how can you call taxi? Taxi does not hear. So similarly, you are imposing the quality of Brahman onto Krishna and calling him Brahman. The qualities are being imposed. You are not there, you are not, name is different, but you are still imposing the quality. When you are calling taxi, you are imposing the quality of taxi driver onto taxi. You are not calling them as taxi driver, but you are calling taxi as taxi, imposing the quality of taxi driver. And here he is saying that the qualities of Brahman and Ishvara are imposed onto you, and therefore you are called Brahman and Ishvara. The difference is in the name, but the imposition example is applicable. So gunair upcharyate iti shrashtitwadi guna nibandhano upcharad ashrit dharma ashrayopi dhatte iti. So he says that therefore the quality of creation etc. which are done by Ishvara is doing the creation, not you, but they are applied to you. So ashrit dharma ashrayopi dhatte. That the quality of the supported are also in the one who is supporting it. Means the quality of Ishvara are in that who is the source of Ishvara. And then he gives this example, Punyatamo ayam desha iti vattvamapi brahmishvarascha bhavasi. So he said that this is a pious land. So the meaning is that there are pious people living there. So then it becomes pious because of the people. Otherwise land is not pious or impious. Not considering the holy places, that is different, but generally in normal piece of land, if you say that this don't go to this street, this is a dangerous street, right? Sometimes you say that this is a dangerous alley. So it is not that alley is dangerous, it is because of the people who are there. Or if you say this is a safe area, so it's not that the area is safe, it is the people who are there who are not criminal. So the characteristic of people is being imposed onto the place, land, street, alley, whatever it is. So in the same way, the characteristic of Brahman and Ishvara are imposed onto Krishna because he is the shelter of them. And therefore he is called as he is Brahman, he is Ishvara. Uktiriyam rasritya eva yaduktam rasena utkrishyate Krishna rupam esha rastiti iti vastutastu Brahmeshwar Krishna ekeva swarupdvaya bhavat iti shashtortha. So this statement is also only considering it from the point of view of rasa. Otherwise there is no difference between Krishna and Brahman and Ishvara or Paramatma. That's what Bhagavatam says, that Vadanti tat tattvadas tattvam is jnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti shabdyate. So shabdyate means that there are three appellations which are used for one reality. The same one reality is called Bhagavan, Brahman and Paramatma. But it is only one. So now when we are saying that it is shelter, he is shelter of Brahman and he is shelter, he says this is from the point of view of rasa. So Siddhantastu abhede api Krishna Sri Ishayoho Rasena utkartate Krishna. So Krishna Rupam Rasastiti. So there is no difference between Krishna and Vishnu. By Siddhanta they are one. But from the analysis or from the point of view of rasa, Krishna is superior to Vishnu or Narayana. So it is Krishna only who is Narayana, it is Krishna only who is Brahman, it is Krishna only who is Vishnu. But in those forms he does not manifest all his power, otherwise there will be no difference at all. So the very fact that they are called Narayana and Vishnu and all this and they have four hands means that he is not manifesting the full potency in those forms. So it's like if you have to lift 5 kilogram of weight, so you have the power to lift 40 kilogram. So when you lift 5 kilogram, you only apply that much power which is needed to lift 5 kilogram. You don't apply the power needed for 40 kilogram. But because you are lifting 5 kilogram does not mean that you can only lift 5 kilogram. So in one place you are lifting 40 kilogram, in another place you are lifting 5 kilogram, then you say, well, this person is weaker than the other one. So when he has to do the act of creation, etc., then this other part is not required. So he manifests only that much power. Otherwise it's only one tattva. So that's why he again refers to this word Swarup Dvaya Abhavat, which is cited in the earlier explanation also from the 6th canto, 9th chapter, verse 35. That you do not have two Swarupas. Although you have two avatars or two appearances, two means more than two, as many. But your Swarupa is only one. So this is important point being made.
So I have a question. In between Krishna and Narayana, because different devotees, different sampradayas, so they see Bhagavan in a different way. So, for instance, if those ones that see Narayana as supreme God, how do they then explain Krishna as avatara? Like, because obviously, then if they explain it as avatara, then there's something missing.
Why did not ask them?
I don't know. I ask you.
Because I'm not saying that.
I just try to understand basically what is the difference and the difference.
And difference, you yourself saying the thing that Krishna is an avatar of Narayana. And that's how they see.
But there are some attributes that are missing, right?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that Narayana has certain function to perform and Krishna has certain other functions which Narayana cannot perform. So Krishna does Ras Leela, Narayana does not do Ras Leela. Right? Narayana cannot do Ras Leela.
No, I totally agree with that. Yes.
So it's not within his capacity to do that. So that's why I'm saying Krishna himself is Narayana, but is not manifesting certain aspect of himself. Narayana does not play flute. Narayana also does not go to the forest taking cows. Right? Narayana also does not steal butter. Narayana does not take birth. Krishna takes birth.
No. So how can they be then? They're not the same. It's basically they can't be the same, right?
Yeah, then these aspects they are not same.
Yeah.
So Krishna becomes Narayana to perform certain function. Just like the person who is lifting 40 kg and one who is lifting 5 kg is the same person, but when he has to lift 5 kg, he doesn't manifest his power of 40 kg.
Yeah, this I understand.
So in that case, it is the same person, but in case of Krishna, he can take two forms.
Yeah, this
And then that form becomes limited. Here the person who is lifting 5 kg, he can also now lift 40 kg, but Narayana is not like that. He becomes limited to that 5 kg only. He cannot lift 40 kg.
Yeah,
Krishna takes a form, and then that form he does only this much.
Yeah, this I understand. I just wanted to understand from this other point of view, how do they explain then, like Krishna coming?
They don't need to explain.
They don't need to explain.
Because they don't talk like this, they don't hear like this, so they don't need to explain.
Okay.
You have to explain when you hear this side, then somebody will have a doubt. You're sitting in my class. If you sit in their class, they won't talk like this. So what explanation is needed? You're hearing this class and then you're asking question from their point of view. When you sit in their class, then you don't hear this and there's no question. And if the question comes, they'll say, well, it is Narayana who has become Krishna. Simple. What is the big difficulty? Here Brahma will pray in the 14th chapter, Narayanastvam hi akhil dehinam. He says, are you not Narayana? And Krishna says, yes. So then, Brahma is going to say this. Narayanastvam nahi akhil dehinam. Are you not Narayana? And Krishna says, yes, yes, I am Narayana. Don't worry. Don't become scared.
Hare Krishna.
Babaji, I had a question here.
Yes.
I was thinking about Vasudeva. So after all this is done and everybody goes to Mathura and then Krishna joins them there, what ahankar does Vasudeva have? Does he think that he is God's father? Or?
Yes. That's what he thinks.
So he's aware of Krishna's godhood all the time, and still he thinks he's his father also.
Yes.
Same time.
Yes.
Thank you.
Tough job. It's easy for Nanda Maharaj. It's only fixed on his being his son. But here, and Krishna also has a tough job. Because he also has to behave accordingly. So he says, okay, what is he thinking now? He thinks I'm God, okay, let me be God. What is he thinking? I'm his son, okay, I'm his son. So he has to be in his toes all the time, so to say. Cannot relax. Right? That's why he prefers to live in Vrindavan. He's very relaxed here, Doesn't have to worry at all to show that he is God. But here, in between, he has to prove I'm God.
Question. Is it correct? Is it correct to say?
Why is it so complicated?
Is it correct to say that Bhagavan is Swarupa of Brahman?
Bhagavan is?
Swarupa of Brahman.
So you have to consider whom do you now consider as the original. So when you say that Bhagavan is Swarupa Brahman, means you are making Brahman as the Visheshya, subject, and you are making Bhagavan as the predicate. Right? If you say that Bhagavan is Swarupa Brahman, means Brahman is something known to you, and that Bhagavan is his Swarupa, then it is not known. So what is not known is the predicate. What is known is the subject. So that means you are making Brahman as the subject and Bhagavan as predicate, which means you are giving importance to Brahman, not to Bhagavan. So if you can say that, if that's what your intention. But what is being said here is that Bhagavan is the support of Brahman. That's what we read. Krishna also says Brahmano hi pratisthaham. So when he says Brahmano hi pratisthaham, it is other way around. I am the pratishtha of Brahman. What you are saying is that Brahman is the pratishtha of Bhagavan. Right? That's what you are. So you are turning it on its head. Sirsasana. Okay, so let's go to the next sloka. Satvam trilok sthitaye swamaya bibharsi shuklam khalu varnamatmanaha sargaya raktam rajaso brunhitam krishnam cha varnam tam sajanatyaye. So this is also a very interesting sloka. Talks about the color. Color is also a talk of subject of interest these days also. Color. Black life matters. So this color is coming here now, and this is little bit problematic what is being described here. It says Satvam trilok sthitaye swamaya bibharsi shuklam khalu varnam atmana. Varna means color, right? Shukla varna. So asan hi trayo, asan varna traya, ganatonu yugam yugi, shukla raktas tatha pita, idanim krishna tam gata. So now this varna is a problematic thing. Some people say that Brahmana means white in color, Kshatriya means red, Vaishya is copper color, and Shudra is black in color. He says that is the meaning of the four varna. Varna means color, because that is also one of the meaning of varna. Why? Because varnati iti varna, what describes is called varna. And how do you describe? He is white, he is black, he is this, he is that, right? What you see when you see an object is you see the color. Because shape is different from color. Rupa actually means color. Right? Just like with the nose you smell fragrance. With the eyes you see the color. Each sense can perceive only one quality. So the eyes are actually perceiving the color of an object. That is what meaning of rupa. Rupyate anena iti rupa. So varnyati iti varna. That was describes is called varna, or the color. So that's why varna means color. So he says that for the maintenance of this triloki, by your own maya, you accept or maintain white color. Okay? And sargaya raktam rajaso brinhitam. And for creation, you take red color. And Krishnam cha varnam tamsa janate. And for destroying people, you take black color by tamas, red color by rajas, white color by sattva, and black color by tamas. So black color is tamas color, tamasic color, and red color is rajasic color. So rajasic people like red color, tamasic people like black color, sattvic people like white color. So that's why Vaishnavas wear white color. Okay, that is the secret. So now that means Krishna is black. His father is saying this, no other than anyone else. So now, so that means Krishna is tamasic, because he says Krishnam cha varnam tamasa janatye. That you are taking black color and is standing in front of him, and he says this is by tamas, right? And you are taking this only for killing people, which he did. Kill a lot of people. So this is a problematic sloka again, because he is Vishuddha Sattva. We already read that in the prayers of Devaki Devi. He says Sattvam Vishuddham Shrayate Bhavan, right? That you are Vishuddha Sattva. But that was the mother saying, and the father says. So there is a big conflict between mother and father here. And this tamas is not even some transcendental tamas or anything, it is material tamas. Tamas of Maya, Swamayaya. So anyway, the word varna does not always mean color, because we also say ajame kam lohita shukla krishnam, right? So one goat has 3 colors. So does it really mean that she has 3 colors or what? Maya does not have it. So it simply means that these are the qualities, 3 qualities. So meaning that his quality of maintenance is depicted by white color, his quality of creation is depicted by red color, and quality of destruction is depicted by black color. But that does not mean that he has these colors. So there are 3 energies represented by these 3 colors. Jiva Goswami does a big explanation of this in Krishna Sandarbha. Yeah. And I think he will also say that here or not here. Probably he will say that. So nanu brahmadibhyo api asya shrishtyadi prasiddham katam tvatta iti brushe. So Krishna is raising a Purvapaksha, and he says that this creation etc. is supposed to be done by Brahma and then Vishnu and Shiva. Brahma creates, Vishnu maintains, and Shiva destroys. So why are you saying that it is coming from me? I am not Brahma, I am not Shiva, I am also not Vishnu, I am Krishna. So why are you talking like this? So then Vasudeva says, Satyam. Yes, you are right. You are also right. Right? Some people have this habit of saying, no, you are also right. And then you are also right. There is a joke like that. Mullah Nasruddin, he was asked to adjudicate some court case was going on, and so he was made judge. So he heard one lawyer and he said, yeah, you are right. Then he heard the other one, you are also right. So the secretary who was sitting, he says, what are you doing? He is also right, he is right, you have to give judgment. How can both be right? He said, yeah, but they both look right to me. So judge has to decide who is right and who is wrong. Both cannot be right, obviously. So now he says that you are also right. Krishna said this. Vasudeva said, yeah, that is also right, and I am also right. So he is going to prove this. So Brahmadevopi Tavaiva Rupani. How is that both are right? He says this, I am right, you are right. This is called win-win situation. He says Brahma, etc., they are also your form. Means you take those forms. And sa prasiddhas tvameva. So he refers to you, the famous. Swamaya swarupenaiva suklam shuddham ityartha. So shukla here means pure. So satvam trilok sthitiye swamaya bibharshi shuklam khalu varnam atmane. So shukla here does not mean white. It does not mean that Vishnu is white in color and Brahma is red in color and Shiva is black in color. They are not like that. None of them are like that. Brahma is not red. Vishnu is not white. Right? Vishnu is also blackish in color like Krishna. Navani Radha. So therefore it does not refer to color. Jagat Palkasya Vishnu Shyam Varnatvat. Why? Because the maintainer of the universe, the sustainer is Vishnu, and his Varna, his color is Shyam, not Shukla. So therefore here the word Shukla cannot mean white. Shukla means white. Right? But Shukla also signifies purity. Like we also use the word white to signify something is very pure. You say this person has a black heart. Right? So when you say that somebody's heart is black, does not mean that it's actually black in color. So black there means impurity. And so similarly here the word Shukla means purity. It has nothing to do with the color. So Janate Jansanghara ityartha, and Janatya means for killing the asuras. Jana here means asura. Atra rajso brimhitam raktam itivat tamso brimhitam krishnam itivat satveno brimhitam shuklam iti anukte brahmarudro yo rajastamo yoga iva vishnu na satvena yoga. So says that in the sloka, if you read, so rajas and tamas is used, but sattva is not used. For Brahma it is said rajasa ubrimhitam, and for Shiva it is said tamsa ubrimhitam, but for Vishnu it is not said sattva ubrimhitam. So that is to show that Vishnu is untouched by the gunas of Prakriti. But Shiva and Brahma, they come in contact with the gunas of Prakriti. So therefore it says Krishna mitivat satvena britam shukla miti anukta. It was not said that you being endowed with sattva become the maintainer. That was not said. So that is to show that he is not touched by the gunas. So Brahmarudryo rajastamo yoga iva Vishnu na satvena yoga. Just as Brahma and Rudra, they contract rajas and tamas, which also means sattva. If they are contacting rajas and contacting tamas, means they are contacting all the three gunas, because all three gunas are there. But for Vishnu it was not said that he contacts sattva. So he creates Yet he does not contact sattva, but he energizes sattva just by his presence to perform this act. सत्वस्य आवरण विक्षेप अभावाद औदासीन्य रूपत्वेन शुद्ध सत्वे परमेश्वरे सानिध्य मात्रम न तो स्पर्श. So he says that Parameshwara is in Shuddha Sattva, is in the transcendental guna of Sattva, as has been said earlier. So simply by his Sanidhya or his proximity, then this Sattva performs his function by remaining Udasina, because Sattva does not have Avarana or Vikshep. Tamas does Avarana, covers, and Rajas does Vikshepa, action, and Sattva gives you Udasinta, indifference. So that simply by the presence of Vishnu, not by contact. Ateva uktam tridevi parikshayam harirhi nirgunah shakshat. Therefore, in the famous story of Bhrigu going to check who is supreme among Brahma, Shiva and Vishnu, and then he goes and meets them, there it says that harirhi nirgunah shakshat, that Hari is Nirguna. It was not said about Brahma or Shiva, because they became angry. Brahma also became angry, Shiva also became angry, but Vishnu did not become angry. Although Bhrigu kicked him on his chest, he did not do anything physical to the other two. So although he physically insulted, still he did not become angry, because he is Nirguna. And Sattvadeyo na santi ishe iti sakshi cheta kevalo nirgunasya. And Sattvadeyo na santi ishe is from Vishnu Purana. Vishnu Purana also says that Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, they are not in Ishvara. And also it's in the Sakshi Cheta Kevala Nirgunasya, I think it is Mundak Upanishad, that he is Kevala Nirgunasya. So he is Nirguna. Yes.
Could you repeat again what Vishnu does with Vishuddha Sattva just by his proximity and not by touching?
Whatever is the function of Sattva-guna. It's like the function of Rajas is to create and Tamas is to cover or destroy. So Sattva gives you indifference or maintenance, so that he does just by proximity.
So he gives Sattva the quality of, or the effect
Maintenance.
of indifference and maintenance.
So that means if a person has sattva guna, they can maintain very well.
They can?
Maintain very well.
Yes. People who are sattvic, they like to maintain. Rajasic people will bring destruction, because he wants to enjoy, he will control, he will create havoc. Unless his Rajas is, if the Rajas is not controlled by Sattva, that's what it will do. So Jiva Goswami, while he is explaining this sloka in Krishna Sandarbha, then he says that to give the argument about the color, he gives the example of crane. That if you see the crane, it's very white in color and looks very peaceful also. Sattvic. Stands on one leg, right? But he eats the fish alive. And then he says, on the other hand, We have great personalities like Vyasadev, Sukdev Goswami, and they are in dark color, but they are Paramahamsas. So therefore, I say that it does not refer to color, but to the energy of Sattva, Rajas, Tamas.
The trouble is that those things get projected. So once you associate the problem is that once you associate a color with a particular quality, then naturally you project that quality when you see the
color. Yeah.
And so that makes it very, very difficult, because it affects both people, because the person upon whom you're projecting the idea of evil or whatever, then they respond by being evil.
Yes, that's natural. Therefore, don't do adhyarop. So this is his important sloka about the three. And now he says, Tamasya lokasya vibhori rikshasu griheramtirnosi mamakhileshvara rajanya sangyasur koti yuthapair nirvyuhamana nihanishya sechamu. He says that, O Vibhu, O Master all-pervading, you have appeared in my house for the protection of the people of this world. Lokasya rirakshishu grihe avtirnos. In my house, it was not really house, but in the prison house. So you have appeared here for giving protection. So to give protection, you also have to kill. So now is he having black color or white color? Because on one side he says that ririksheshu, that you are coming to give protection, that is your intention. And then he also says Rajanya Sangyasur Koti Yuthapai Nirvyuhamana Nihanishya Sechamu. And you are going to kill the army of the Asuras who are having the appellation of kings. Means Asura-like kings, you are going to kill their army in millions of them, Koti Yuthapai. So Nirvyuhamana, who are moving around on the face of earth, Nihanishya, say you will kill. So now he is going to perform two activities, one of black color, other of white color. So he must be a Varna Sankara. Right? Varna Sankara means mixing of the Varnas. so therefore he is not pure white nor pure black, he is both. Paritrana sadhunam, vinashaya cha duskritam. Because when you have to protect, you also have to harm somebody, kill somebody, otherwise how would you protect? You have to keep somebody away, you have to do some violence to protect. So now which one we have to take, that he is maintaining or he is killing? Is he the palaka or is he a sambharaka? Is he a protector or is he a killer? So what would you say? Is he dharmik or is he adharmik? Killing is adharmik, protecting is dharmik. Right?
Well,
is it well or unwell?
I have nothing to say. I probably would I wouldn't fight. I would be a chicken. I would say, Arjuna just did, I would say, I follow you. I follow Arjuna in the first chapter.
So what is to be seen is what is the outcome of that. That is important. Because if it is only adharmic, then there will be complete destruction. But if there is a partial destruction done for the maintenance, to remove it, just like if you are doing farming, so you have to put seed and then some weeds come. So then you say, well, these weeds are also coming from the same field, and these are also in my field. If you become attached to the weeds and you don't want to uproot
They're
them.
living beings, we love them.
Yes. And this is
You can't kill them.
violence to uproot them. Jeev hatya. So then you will not get the crop. So then you have to remove them. So that removal is not adharmic, because it is for the higher good. So therefore, for protection of dharma, if one has to do some killing, then that does not become adharmic. That's what Krishna is teaching in Bhagavad Gita. So Mam Anusmara Yudhacha.
Even by
Remember
killing
me.
of even by killing by Krishna is upgrading,
Yes.
like Sisupal and
Yes. Because that is also for maintenance. Because he is not killing out of anger. Here in the material world, you become angry and then you kill. But just like if you have the garden and you are removing the weed, you are not angry at weeds. Right? You are not full of anger. These weeds are... No, you just understand that they are not beneficial, they are harmful to the crop, and you uproot them. So Krishna also, when he is killing Shishupal or he is killing Kamsa, although externally he may look angry, internally he is not angry, he doesn't have hatred for anybody. Right? Nami dveshvasti na priya samoham sarvabhutana bhuteshu. I am equal to all. So even if he kills, that killing is not out of some hateful feeling. And therefore, he is uplifting them. Of course, that uplifting happens because they are all meditating on him. Because there are two ways you can meditate. One is out of love and another is out of hatred. Right? When you are udasin, then you don't think. When you are indifferent, then you don't think of that object to which you are indifferent. And when you are attached to something, then you think of that. And when you don't like something, then also you think of that. If you have a snake in your bedroom, you are going to think of snake all the time, unless it is ascertained that snake has gone out. But as long as you think that he is lurking somewhere, you cannot but think of the snake. So why? Because of dvesha. You have snake dvesha. So then mind becomes fixed. So gopis were also thinking of Krishna, and Kamsa was also thinking of Krishna. Same intensity. Kamsa was also intensely sitting, eating, walking, talking. It says he was only thinking of Krishna. Asan vilok nadhyai. Ye vai nirpataya shishupal pond shalvadyo. Asan vilok nadhyai. So they were all the time thinking. So tat samya mapur punarakta dhyam punaki. So they attained form like him, thinking. And gopis are also thinking. So gopis are thinking out of love. and they are thinking Bhayat Kansa. So Kamad Gopya Bhayat Kansa Dveshat Chadyadeo Nepaha. So when Krishna is killing, as it is described, he is not doing it out of hatred or anything, but he is also doing it for their benefit. So that's why it is dharma only. So Hey Vibho, Hey Akhileshwar, Lord of everything. So Bhotata Satyam Tvayaham Vidita Vidatatvam Eva Asmi Tadgrihe Kimartham Avataram Iti Api Janasi Chet Bruhi. So finally Krishna is convinced that Vasudeva has understood him. It is very interesting. Otherwise in Bhagavad Gita he says that Mam tu Vedana Kashana, nobody knows me. Right. Says I know everyone, no one knows me. So he is convinced that Vasudeva knows him. So he says that, oh my father, Satyam, it is true, Tvaya aham vidita tattva. You have understood my tattva. Evasmi tvad-grihe. But now I want to know, do you know why I have come here? And if you know, please tell that also. Make it clear. I want to make sure that you understand who I am, but why I have come. If you know that, say that also. So then he says, yes, I know that also. You have come here to give protection to the world and to kill the asuras. So tvamiti asya lokasya imam lokam atah sadhunam rakshnartha. So you have come to protect the sadhus. Rajanya sanghaya ye asur koti yuthapas tai nirvihamana itatas chalyamana chamusena. And then these so-called kings who are actually asuras and their army is moving here and there. So you have also come to kill them. This is what I understand.
Scatter them in the four directions.
Yes.
Itastatas chalyamana.
Yes, itastatas chalyamana, running here and there. So this is the end of this verse and we will stop here. If there is any more question?
That's it.
Associated with the copper color.
Hmm?
With the Vaishya associated with the copper color.
Why you don't like that?
No, but
Why? So why is Sudra is associated with black color?
because they are from Arabic and
So because copper, they sell, make money. They are doing business.
Basically, it's black is the absence of color.
Yes.
And white, the purest white, is all the colors are present in that. And so and red represents the scattering of colors that lies in between the two. I have to repeat that for posterity.
So black actually means that which absorbs everything. That's why Krishna is called Krishna, because anyone who comes to him, he doesn't leave. That's what he told Putana. When he was saying, Putana was saying, Muncha, Muncha. He said, oh, that I never learned that. Putana was saying, leave me, leave me, leave me. He says, but this, I don't know how to leave. He says, others can leave me, but once I hold on to something, I don't leave. So this is my quality. My name is Krishna. I absorb. Black hole. You go inside, you never come out.
It's good for Bhagavad part.
Okay.